Hey brothers, this is Justin with Masonic Improvement. I'm joined today with
the guru of Goliad, Dennis Yates, and the herald of Hillsborough County,
Harold. Harold.
He's
Harold. The Harold.
Give him some time, he'll be a herald.
So this is obviously a very different format than our usual podcast. Dennis and I met at Grand Lodge today. Today was when the grand committees all came together and gave their reports and had their meetings. And we thought, what better place to discuss what we did today than in the memorial room in the Grand Lodge of Texas with this beautiful stained glass behind us.
Yes, and if you haven't been here, this is one of the most important rooms you can ever visit in Grand Lodge. When you come in January, don't just go to the meeting and vote your yays and nays and go home. Visit all over Grand Lodge, because this is one of the hidden jewels. This is the stained glass that made up the ceiling of the original Grand Lodge of Texas from Houston. And when they built this building...
I didn't know that either.
See? And when they built this building, they imported it and put it up here as a remembrance to the Houston Grand Lodge that was originally there. So,
yeah.
You know, it's a magnificent room to see, and you can see with all the symbolism here, Freemasonry was not just about pancakes and green beans. It was about a lot of deep introspection and a lot of character realization.
We didn't understand the real significance of green beans until some time later.
Yes.
So before we really get into what we want to discuss, some of you may notice I am wearing a Masonic Improvement polo shirt. I will include a link in the description of this video if you are interested in getting any Masonic Improvement merchandise. Currently we do have the polos, and there are hats. Check out the link, use that way they know who sent you, and it will take you to the San Antonio Hat Company. Every purchase you make, you automatically make a contribution to the shrine. It is a very laudable undertaking, and they make some very high quality clothing. So Dennis, why don't you tell us a little bit about what today was?
Today was the mid-year where all the committee chairs got up and explained what's been going on, what's planned to go on, and where that fits in the equation, and how the different committees have worked together to make certain things happen. And this is really the business of Grand Lodge, and this isn't a business meeting like the annual communication. This is the business of making Freemasonry work in Texas. And the people that show up here are the members that are committed. They are working diligently to try to not just control your lodge, not just control Freemasonry. These guys are really working their tails off to try and give you the best experience you have. And I've got to say, go ahead. Were you going to say something?
Oh, I was just thinking about how much further back I have to stand so I appear almost as tall as you in the screen. If I stand as close as you are, my head's cut off. So.
And if I stand back here, they can't see me. No. Oh, that's funny. So, but one thing to add to that statement, though, is that it's open to all regular Masons, and especially past masters, because past masters, if you're interested, if you've ever wanted to help a committee or to be on a committee, the best way to do that is to show up. You've got to show up and show your interest and make yourself available to help. Here at the meetings today, they were recognizing everyone, especially everyone that was not a committee member, so that people knew who was there, who was dedicated to the cause of Grand Lodge and our Freemasonry in Texas, and without any gain, just coming to be a part, to understand, and to offer their contributions.
Yeah. There were several committees that expressed a need for volunteers, and the first place they're going to look are among the people that show up to things like this. If it's one thing to put your name out there, to send an email or make a phone call saying you're interested, but it's a completely different thing to actually show up shake someone's hand, look them in the eye, and tell them that you would like to assist in whatever way you can.
Absolutely.
So the point is, first of all, this is the day, one of the days when a lot of the decisions in the this is why we're editing this. This is one of the days when a lot of the important decisions are made.
We need it raw. Leave it.
For Grand Lodge.
Right. This
And
is
then-
a decision-making
This
day
is a decision-making day.
because we're finding out the progress and then deciding what has to be done, what time it has to be done, and if you're falling behind or if you're ahead of the game or not.
And the second takeaway is if you want to be involved in Grand Lodge at the committee level, or even further beyond that, these are the kind of things that would behoove you to come to.
Absolutely. And if you want to make an informed decision at the Grand Annual Communication when you're voting up or down on resolutions, this is where you come. Because the things that are discussed here with the chairs are a lot of the things that are going to go into Grandmaster's decisions or resolutions and things like that. So if you just want to make an informed decision, then that's how you do it, is by learning these things. Because this is just a meeting, saying what's going on. It's not a meeting that we spend thousands and thousands of dollars to publish. And, so it's something that you do have to show up for to really prove your interest.
Yes. That said, that's all we have right now, right?
Kinda. With that said, for instance, the officer leadership training is coming up, and we have a lot of volunteers with the education committee this year, and new members of the education committee, and I'm being one of them. But I got to tell you, I've been volunteering for the education committee for quite some time, and I've been showing up for even longer before I volunteered, and that's how I became acquainted with and fell in love with the education committee and all that they do to bring better Freemasonry to you. So that's
Well, like we said, important decisions are made at the committee level. The
correct.
committee is not going to let someone join that they don't know who they are.
Correct.
That recognition goes a long ways.
Yes, absolutely. And speaking of OLT and all the activities that are going to be going on around it, this year we're falling in line with the rest of the Grandmaster's decisions for this year of making every event as impactful as possible. And each event we're going to have different venues after and around the actual officer leadership training. So there's going to be fun things to do with the learning as well as without the learning.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
This is awesome. That's awesome. That's
Like
how
at Talladega Nights.
that was wonderful. Awesome. So, with that being said, I hope you I hope you really consider officer leadership training this year. I'm going to be thinking that every time I'm up there giving a presentation or something. What am I doing with my hands? So this year, we hope that you join us with officer leadership training. We have some special additions to it this year as well. So, and it's important that we get this out now so that you have a chance to make a decision, because we have the normal 101 and 201, which isn't limited. It's not junior warden, senior warden. It's look at the information that comes out. We're fixing to put it out and see what the classes are and see what fits you best. And then pick that one and go to that one, because some of the stuff you probably know, but not all the stuff. Some of the stuff you might want more information on.
Yeah.
Vice versa. Then we've also got an alternative learning that people will be able to go to. It's not a certificate gaining session, but there's an alternative learning for $75, and there's 4 or 5 classes just in Saturday for people to come to. but they don't, it's not going through the whole officer leadership training. But the people who sign up for officer leadership training can actually jump in on some of those classes if they think that they might get more out of that than the one that they're scheduled for.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool dynamic this year all around.
My takeaway, I know it's called OLT,
Yes.
Officer Leadership Training. That said, if you're a Master Mason, I don't care if you were just raised yesterday, make an attempt to get there.
Absolutely. You can never start educating yourself and increasing yourself and preparing yourself for leadership.
Yeah.
Because that's what Freemasonry does. When you're going through the chairs or not going through the chairs, organizing events, when you're doing anything, that's what you're doing, is expressing leadership. So it's never too late. It's never too early.
Yeah.
So come on out. You'll enjoy it. I promise.
Cool. Well, this has been a very concise, but I think a very informative little video we put together. I just can't get over how good these Masonic Improvement polos look on me.
They're wonderful, and we love the guys at San Antonio Hat Company, the brothers of San Antonio Hat Company, that you should know.
Stationed in Houston.
It is a Houston-based company, and all the proceeds are going to a brother or a charity. So, you know, when you can, support your fraternity.
Yep.
We certainly do, and we're proud that they wanted to work with us.
Yep. Again, check the link down below. San Antonio Hat Company. Grab yourself some Masonic Improvement merch, and hopefully we will see you at OLT very soon.
Yes.